To kick off 2025, I traveled to Ouray, Colorado for the All In Ice Fest, a festival dedicated for creating space for marginalized communities in ice climbing. As much as I was excited to climb, my main goal for the weekend was to capture the event through photography. Hey everyone, my name is Eric Chos. I'm a photographer and videographer based in LA, and had the unoriginal idea of creating a YouTube channel. Usually I'd pack my car full of equipment, but since I was on a solo trip and I was flying, I had to make some tough decisions. Let's break down what I brought and why. For this trip, I brought my Sony a7 IV over my usual dual system setup with my ZV-E1. Utilizing its 33 megapixel, Super 35 crop mode, and its dual base ISO for video, the a7 IV is still my favorite camera after all these years. I was gonna bring my ZV-E1, but I really wanted to commit to taking photos on this trip. Plus, I had a system added to my pack. Now, like I said, I usually bring all my gear with me, even if I would use it only once. But for this trip, I landed on two lenses. First, I brought the Sigma 24-70 f2.8 DG DN2 art lens. This lens is perfect for landscapes, mid-range action shots, and portraits. Next, I chose the Sony 7200 f4 Macro G OSS 2 lens. It's lightweight, stabilized, and excellent for shots outside my immediate reach. Next up, the new addition, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. There's a reason why you and I have watched every single video on the internet about this camera. I could list all its features, I could do that. But at the end of the day, what makes this camera amazing, it truly is a high quality point and shoot video camera. For the Pocket 3, I purchased a housing with a magnetic mount, then attached the Peak Design capture clip plate for convenience. Why are all these companies have just these long names? Why? Like why?
Hey, you bought it, okay? What do you want from me?
All right. ND filters, more on this later. And a slim protective case for better portability. And to round out my kit, I brought my GoPro Hero 12. I used it for BTS shots. Its horizon lock feature was perfect for mounting my a7 IV for vertical footage without disturbing the frame. Next, I brought knee pads, a surprising MVP for shooting low angles in rocky and snowy terrains. Next, I brought my Nisi filter kit. This helped me to manage light during video and capture deep blue skies. And to carry this loadout, I brought my Wander backpack.
All right, calm down. This ain't COD, all right? This camera gear.
All right, enough about the gear. On this trip, I captured 3 scenarios that we'll go over. But today, we're gonna be shooting down this canyon. We got 2. We got one here and
shake it out.
Here. Initially, my shots felt static, almost like sculptures. The climbers were moving, but the photos didn't convey that energy. Then I noticed the difference. What was the other thing? Same thing, the instructor in the clinic yesterday was saying you want to reach all the way up, which is great, but then that's not a flattering look, as opposed to if you're like this and you're hitting it like a hammer angle, like a 90-degree angle. So getting those shots. So I'm gonna get another one right here. Great. These subtle angles made the action come alive. One of the challenges of shooting the climbers was the distance. Safety rules meant staying back, as ice chunks could break off and fall on you. This is where the Sony 7200 shined. Its reach was essential for capturing action shots from a safe distance.
Go ahead.
But there's something about G lenses that I actually love on these things. So definitely, if you're getting a new lens, if you're going to adventure stuff, this doesn't weigh anything. It weighs something, but it's compared to the G Master. There were moments where even 200 millimeters wasn't enough. Enter Super 35 mode. Hey everyone, Editor Eddie here. This video has taken me a long time to make. So much so that my hair grew in. Don't know how. Quick note, so in this next section, I'm going to be talking about the camera's features and its benefits. It's actually 33 megapixels, and I say 32 megapixels, and it's 14 megapixels instead of 12 megapixels in Super 35. So my bad. Yeah, so strong start to the channel. Like and subscribe. So I'm gonna crop in anyways, so might as well do that. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So we're gonna crop in. Like, look how this photo is great. Like, I don't need 32 megapixels. I would love 32 megapixels, but look at that. It's great. Obviously now I zoom out. Full 32 megapixels.
I mostly want to make sure that's the place I'm eating.
It's great. Well, let's say I have right here, look, full resolution. Awesome. But let me go in just that little bit more That's great. Lastly, wide shots were just as important.
There you go. See? Boom. So that's what you want. At least that's what I want.
On Saturday night, NAN hosted a pool party in 35-degree weather, which was awesome. DJs Dage and Jambalaya each had 2 sets at about 35 minutes. But at the time, I didn't know how long the sets were gonna be, which worried me about storage space. So I set the A7 IV to 8-bit color at 30 frames per second. With basically no lighting, I relied on my Lume Cube for illumination. Since its battery life isn't great, I hooked up the small power bank to keep it going. Luckily, it lasted all night. Next, I connected my 20K power bank to power my camera for continuous recording. To nail the look and exposure in camera, I used the Monitor Plus app on my tablet to preview the LED. I initially set the ISO to 3200, which is its base ISO for S-Log 3, but it was underexposed, so I tuned it to 8000. Bringing the whole setup together, I love the end result. After 3 intense days of traveling, hiking, ice climbing, and photography, I decided to slow it down with a solo photo walk around Ouray. I focused on capturing the town's charm and enjoying the creative process at my own pace. I'm really concerned about it because it looks foggy to me, so I might have to take it off. We'll see. Damn. Yeah, it was the filter. So now I gotta resort to not using the ND filter or the CPL because then it just fogs up. So I'm shooting like an insane shutter speed. But, I mean, you still look good, buddy. Still look good. Ooh, that's another photo I like. All right, let's get this one too. I spent so much time online just, you know, learning. But as honestly, until you start practicing, that you won't get exactly, because it becomes muscle memory. A lot of things that I do, it's muscle memory. For instance, look at this lighting right here, right? I already know for the fact that when I go back, that's when I want to start recording myself even more, but just to prove this point, because it instantly looks better. Check out the sign, world's oldest Jeep tour company. But look how the tree covers up part of the sign. So you move a little bit forward and let the sky fill out the words. I didn't bring my glasses. I didn't bring my lens hood. So a lens hood is, I really enjoy using my lens hood for a couple of reasons. But in this case, whenever I'm taking a shot of anything in the sun, I want to prevent from the ray hitting the lens hood. Hence, that's the reason of the lens hood. I want to get a shot of that mountain. So but I want to get in a shaded area because I don't have my lens hood with me. And also it'll be a better vantage point. So that'll work out. So let's just cross here. You see how that sun is hitting the lens here on this camera? And then boom. I'm not even recording, that's hilarious. Anywho, I just shot the scenic part right here. It's really cool, I like it. 70 millimeters, look at that. And this is where the Pocket 3 was perfect for candid handheld shots, letting me enjoy the moment without worrying about heavy gear. So right now I have this mount, this magnetic mount on the DJI, has the dynamic tracking on it, which is great. I really like this mount. I don't need the handle itself, but look how it follows me. This is great. But also that flap is magnetic, so if I want to put it anywhere I want to. Hilariously, I didn't think it was magnetic. I bought it because it was magnetic, but it wouldn't work on metal surfaces. I guess those surfaces weren't metal, so I just gave up on it. I figured out yesterday that it does work. So it would be great to use on that. So look at this. This is amazing. This is nice. This is beautiful. And if I want to get some BTS of me being pretentious, I think that's good. What else are we looking at? Maybe question mark? Maybe question mark? Let's go f8 250. Let's see if we like that. Nope, too dark. Let's go from ISO 100 to 400. Oh, too much. Let's go 200. Okay, yeah, I like that. Again, this is what I love about this. Let's put this mount there so I can just fix my shot.
I want to get in the shot? Yeah, I do. All right, so I like all that stuff, so let's see. Cool, it's great. Let's keep going. Every time I pass this post, I want to get this orbit shot because it looks great. All right, this is in regular color. Let me put it back in D-Log. I like this. This is a nice shot, but let's avoid getting these wires in the shot. It's dark, yeah, it's dark, but how much? It's properly exposed. Okay, so I'm gonna take advantage of the conditions we have. Oh my God, look at that. That looks so beautiful. So the mic is at 40%. It could be because of the cold. I think it might be on the amount that I'm using it. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna stay like this. Go back. I need to get my gloves. I wasn't gonna bring my backpack, but I'm like, let's just bring it. All right, so let's see it again. That bird is laughing at me because I'm trying to do this. It is cringe, I guess. All right, see, this is the part where I'm like, okay, let's take another 1,000 shots. Let's actually move over here. Are you still following me? I hope you're still following me. That car is right there. If I bend down, do I have I don't want to go around. It's fine. Perfect.
So that was my trip to Uri, Colorado. I had an amazing time there and I really can't wait to go back next year.
I'm ignoring TLC's advice and chasing these waterfalls.
But I do have some notes and debrief that I want to consider for next time. And if you're heading out there, maybe some sound advice, maybe. The Sony 7200 was the star of the trip. It's lightweight, compact, and delivers incredible image quality, perfect for someone who values practicality over the size of the GM version. Now, I know I said something very borderline blasphemous that I prefer this lens over the GM. Just hear me out. A few months ago, I was trying to decide whether I should save up or finance for the GM2 version. But after renting both lenses, it was a simple decision for me. For me, that's traveling a lot, or that really just goes anywhere in the city, wherever it might be, I appreciate the G version over the GM version, mainly because it's weight. I'm a delicate little flower. I gotta keep that in mind. You know, I don't want to be laying around that gigantic lens. If I'm doing a very serious deliverable like a wedding or anything that's like to that level of importance, I'll go rent the GM2 version. But for what I'm doing here, for what I love to do, the love of the game of photography, the G is more than enough for what I want to do. And honestly, for what a lot of people do, because it is a great lens. Was that preachy? Was that too preachy? Was it? No, we could always take it out. We don't have to put it in. We'll take it out. Are you gonna take it out? You're not gonna put this in, right? Okay. Okay. The Sigma Art delivered fantastic results. This was another case where I decided between this lens and the Sony GM2 version. But ultimately, Sigma knocked it out of the park with this lens. And I saved over $1,000. Still, there were some missed opportunities that I wish I would have bought. Looking back, I should have brought my 24mm prime. During the social events like the dinner with NIN, I wish I had smaller setup to capture candid moments without drawing too much attention to the camera. Luckily, everyone was happy to take a photo. Next, we have the pros and cons of the Osmo Pocket. First, the magnetic housing was a dream. I'm so happy I got that. I was able to mount it in any metal surface, and having the capture clip plate made it easy for me to swap between my Sony and my Osmo. Next, we have the ND filters. While useful in theory, they were frustrating to manage. There were times where I would try to take them on or off, and I dropped them by accident. Chalk it up to user error, but I've seen a lot of creators with this inherent problem. Another issue I had was the interface of the Osmo Pocket. There were many times where the Osmo would accidentally switch from continuous to manual focus. So that was my trip to Uri, Colorado. It was an amazing trip. from ice climbing, capturing action, and connecting with others, it definitely made this a core memory for me, and I really can't wait to go back next year. Thank you for watching. I've had the most unoriginal idea of creating a YouTube channel, and I'm finally doing it. So this is definitely a passion project for me. Passion project for me. Words are hard.
If you just like this, oh look, this has been dangling this whole time. Terrible YouTuber.